In the readings that we've done so far that take place in older settings, there's significantly more talk of residential schools and the forced assimilation that natives underwent in the 19th and 20th centuries. What were called native boarding schools prevailed in Canada and in America for over 150 years, and they perpetuated a cycle of abuse and indoctrination of native children as young as 3 years old. Knowledge of their evils has become more widespread as geologists and historians reveal mass grave sites beneath the boarding school grounds, as well as with authors such as Mary Crow Dog and Tommy Orange, who have come forth with their stories and experiences regarding such boarding schools. Now, while not exactly a realistic work, the fantastical novel Marrow Thieves is where our class first encountered the teaching of a Native American boarding school. Here, it was known that the schools were where natives were captured and taken to die. Education and assimilation were not as heavy concepts in this school than in the renditions of Mary Crow Dog and Tommy Orange. Now, their stories, the first autobiographical and the latter fiction, recount the students being stripped of and punished for their culture. They were pushed to be like the white man through a proper English education, the indoctrination of Christianity, and their physical presentation. For example, when they were taken to a boarding school, they were forced to cut their long hair off, and they wore all the same clothes. So, although the color of their skin, it's ironic because the color of their skin always prevented them from being respected as a white man, and there was no advancement in society on the other side of these boarding schools. So really all the efforts to turn them into white people, it wasn't helpful at all. So thus a generational shame came about, and alongside the banning of ritual ceremonies, the culture stopped being passed down to the children. We see that in Mary Crow Dog's experience, where she tried to learn language from her grandmother, who was very hesitant to share that kind of information with her granddaughter because she thought that it may prevent her from advancing in life. So here's where we enter with Tommy Orange's There, and the youngest generations are trying to rebuild a culture blindly. These characters seek some sense of familiarity with their ancestors, and they achieve this goal through multiple means, such as Dene Oxidene. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but Dene Oxidene finding native narratives in his community, or Orville performing a ritual dance at a powwow. This is where the two great divides of the old and new intersect, and they peak at an entirely new expression of native identity as characters reclaim what was lost before. An expression of such that I noticed most in Reservation Dogs was through fashion. It was the first thing that really stood out to me when I began watching the show, was the fashion trends that I observed through the younger generation, especially in the case of the character Willie Jack. She often wore beaded jewelry, and she had double braided hair that was wrapped in leather, and this was not only in one episode of the show, but it carried on throughout. And the combination of the 21st century fashion trends and what are considered features of the traditional native appearance, it really highlights the embodiment of the modern native culture that is coming about. And the more modern modern fashion trends that we saw were like high-top Vans or flannels over ripped jeans and such, that mixed with, Willie Jack's beaded earrings that she got from a woman in the community, or her hair how she did her hair when she went to her cousin's funeral.